Hey y'all, it's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. So, this week we have a lot of energy. We are still coming from that Saturn Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius on the winter solstice. And so that energy activated a lot of what we will be experiencing and creating for the next 20 years to come. So we are still feeling the influence and the high impact of that energy moving on into 2021 and all those things. So we're going to be discussing what that means, what that looks like for everybody, and what is to come for this month. So first and foremost, I would like to say Happy New Year to everyone, all of you. We made it, y'all, finally, 2021. So this week is not going to let up off our necks at all. January is probably going to be the most intense month out of the entire year of 2021, and that is because we're still coming from all that energy in 2020. As we all know, 2020 came for our necks and didn't let up, and this month is no different. So let's just dive right on into it. We have Mars moving into Taurus this week. We also have Mercury moving into Aquarius, and then we have Venus moving into Capricorn. So those are the three main transits that we have going on this week alone. And it might not seem to be a lot, but then when you start thinking about what it's aspecting, the squares and the other influences around that's happening, yeah, it's a pretty heavy, hectic week that's coming up for us. So real quick, just a few announcements. I do have a new field to my newsletter. I have a monthly newsletter as well as a weekly that goes into details for each transit every week. So make sure if you have not subscribed to that, go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter. I will link it down below. Also, I have a new Facebook group where we talk about all things astrology. You can ask me questions. You can ask all the other people who are interested in astrology questions. If you're willing to learn, if you're looking to learn, if you're willing to share, go ahead and sign up there. I will link that as well. Then I have new services on my website. I have new relationship readings. I have a new reading for the Saturn and Aquarius generation. These are the people that are born between 1991 and 1994. So y'all are having y'all Saturn return in Aquarius right now. And I can say having a Saturn return doesn't have to be terrible, right? Especially if you know what is to come, what's potentially, going to happen and what it's going to teach you, because that's what Saturn returns are mostly about. It's about learning these lessons, applying the work. So I have that reading, and that's going to be exclusively for the Saturn return in Aquarius generation. So look up that. I have a few more things on my website. I would just go ahead and link my website in the description box. Go check it out. And then there's just so much more that is to come, other things that are in the background being worked on. So just stay tuned. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter, because people that go to the newsletter or subscribe to the newsletter, they get first access to all the things. And they also get the heads up on deals and whatnot. So that's all my announcements. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in to what's happening this week. First, we have on the 6th, we have Mars moving into Taurus. So Mars has been comfortably hostile and aggressive and aggravated in Aries for about the last 6 months. And that's because Mars in Aries in 2020, it went through a retrograde period. And so that gave it an extra 4-month transit. And so now it is moving into the sign that is all sensual. It's about your money and your partnerships and your values. So it's moving into Taurus on the 6th, and it will be in this place until March the 3rd. So Mars is going to be making that square to the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius, and later on in the month is going to be edging closer and closer to that conjunction to Uranus and Taurus. So this is going to be activating that rebellion in us. Also a lot of impulsive things that's going to come up to the surface. Feeling very frustrated with where you are right now. You're going to be feeling like you want to break free. You're going to want to be liberated for something in regards to your values, your money, your partnerships as well. Also, the work that you do. So, either we're going to be liberated or we're going to be frustrated. So, like I always tell everyone, it's always about how you perceive things. So, get in alignment with your perceptions. How do you want to perceive these transits? Do you want to experience it in this way where you're frustrated? And we're all going to be feeling kind of frustrated a little bit oppressed, because Saturn is there. Saturn doesn't, want you just to go and make hasty decisions. Saturn is there so you can learn some things. So it makes you slow down. And we have been about a year of slow movement, not able to do what we like to do, what we will want to do. So typically Mars moving into Taurus, it automatically slows down, because Taurus is an earth sign and Mars is a planet that's normally, it rules the fire energy of Aries. So when Mars moves into Taurus, typically it will provide, you that slow and steady energy to where you can figure out what it is that you are trying to accomplish, what it is that you want to accomplish, but it gives you the keys that you need to succeed. That's Mars and Taurus energy. But when Mars is in Taurus this time and it's making a square to Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, this is also about the collective energy. So collectively, because that's Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanity. Aquarius is about the people. So it's going to be giving off this energy of feeling oppressed with wanting to connect, wanting to network, wanting to do some things, wanting to work, and also being very impulsive. And Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is the sign that's all about innovation and something new and something original. It's about your originality and wanting to be free. Aquarius is about liberation, right? So it's going to be providing some hesitant energy, some oppressive energy with that, and you're going to want to break free. But it's very important that you think things through. Number one, you don't make any hasty decisions, because Mars is naturally impulsive. Mars rules our initiatives and actions, so it's all about energy. So just make sure that you're taking your time. Don't make any quick decisions during this transit. So we are going to be experiencing, this week is activating the next 2 months or so. We won't really let up off this energy until about mid-March. So just make sure that the things that you are implementing now, you're going to have time to rectify them if you are acting off impulse and not really thinking things through. Okay, so moving on to the 8th, January 8th, we have Mercury moving into the sign of Aquarius. So Mercury in Aquarius is like low-key genius. So it provokes our inner genius. It is that ingenuity that it's like divine godlike knowledge, right? Because Mercury rules our nervous system, it rules our brain. And then we have Aquarius, which is of divine knowledge. It is that innovation, that innovative quality. And so also Aquarius is about the collective consciousness as well. So when we have Mercury moving into this sign of Aquarius, and you take what these two things represent and what they rule and what they govern, we are going to be coming up with new ideas, and also wanting to implement things in a new innovative way. But we do have Mercury retrograding at the end of this month in January, and it's retrograding in Aquarius. So that's going to bring new revelations to old problems, new ideas, new ways of handling things. But it's not the time to quickly or impulsively take action on anything. It's really the time to just sit and process, allow things to come up as they should, and move on from that once it goes back direct. Remember, I always say about Mercury retrograde, I also have that survival guide for Mercury retrograde. So it's not the time to implement anything new. It's time to review, reassess, reevaluate, all those things. Just don't initiate anything new during the Mercury retrograde. And that happens at the end of the month. But what this is providing us right now is that activation to have new ideas, new innovative ideas. We might even see like some censorship things being limited or blocked because Aquarius rules technology. So keep that in mind. Another thing with this energy is that it's going to most definitely provoke collective conscious fear, anxiety. We might even see some panic going on because that's that energy. We have Mercury that rules your nervous system. It rules the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And then we have Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So, it's going to be activating a lot of that nervous energy that's already within all of us, especially with the type of year that we had in 2020. So moving forward, so anxiety and fear is going to be provoked. So also keep in mind that your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system it rules your fight or flight. It also rules your calm and your rest periods. And we digest things during the time that our parasympathetic nervous systems are activated. So not just digesting your food, but digest everything that is happening within you as well as around you. So allow things to fully digest before we make any quick, hasty decisions. We're going to be really feeling like we want to go. Like it's time to go, like it's go time, and we can't go just yet. 2021 is going to be a far better year than 2020 was ever. So just make sure that you just hold on. We have until about March before things start looking a little bit better, a little easier. Just don't make any hasty decisions, make any impulsive actions right now. Just kind of wait things out. And try not to rebel, because that Aquarius energy is heavy right now. And it's all about rebellion and going against the status quo and all these things. Just chill out. So just a few tips to remain calm. Make sure that you are doing your yoga, you're doing your meditation, your deep diaphragm belly breathing. Also, I mentioned this in my newsletter, but if you touch on your lips very gently with your fingertips, you have parasympathetic nerves that are in your lips. So doing that, when you feel stressed, that will keep you calm. Just a few tips. If you need more information, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. Make sure you are, connected with me on Instagram and the Facebook group and all that. So moving on, the same day that we have Mercury moving into Aquarius, we have Venus moving into Capricorn as well. So Venus and Capricorn. What does Venus rule? I always talk about Venus. I'm heavily ruled by Venus. Venus is all about sensuality. Venus is all about beauty, money, and your finances, your self-worth, your net worth. It's also about your partnerships as well. It's about business too. It's about things that make you feel good. That's Venus. So when we have Venus moving into Capricorn, and Capricorn is about doing the work. Capricorn, they're known for being very cold-hearted and cold-natured, when that's not the truth at all. Capricorn, really what it is that instead of them having emotions that are expressed like how you feel it, their feelings are so deeply ingrained that it expresses and manifests itself through the body. So Capricorn is about materializing things as well. So when Venus moves into this sign, we're going to be expressing our love language on a more practical and pragmatic way, that Capricornian way. So it's not necessarily that we're going to be cold-hearted. We're just going to be doing things in a more practical way, like getting gifts, loaning out money to people. We're also going to be maybe picking up a project to do for someone, something very practical. Also, Venus is going to be making a conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn on the same day that we have the full moon in Leo, which is January 28th. So all this is being activated right now. So pay attention to the themes of your self-worth, your finances, your net worth, your partnerships, all of these things that may come up during this time. Pay attention to it, because we're going to be revisiting this energy at the end of December. So that's 2021, and we'll talk more about that as that time comes. So just a quick recap. Liberation or frustration, which one are you going to choose? You're going to be liberated, or you're going to be frustrated? Are you going to wait until the energy allows us to move forward, or are you going to rebel against what's currently happening? So that's the big energy. This month is going to be probably the most intense out of the entire 2021 year. But moving forward, after about March, things are going to be much, 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 much easier, much lighter. Things are going to start lifting for us. So I hope and pray that this has been a good reading for y'all, and that you got a lot of information. If you need more, you know where to find me. Book a reading, description box below. Go to my website. All the things you know, the newsletter, the Facebook group, all that is found down there. So I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.